Welcome to Love Where You Live, a DeLilly Home podcast. And I am Mary Powell DeLilly, and here with Alison Kelly. And we are here to talk about all the high points in High Point.
Today we are very excited. We have Marilyn, Nowell, and Sadie, Elder with Working Wardrobe, and they are here to tell us all about this great organization that they have brought to High Point.
Yes, they created it. Y'all started it. You are the founders of Working Wardrobe.
Two founders.
We are.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us about it.
What is Working Wardrobe?
Yes.
So Working Wardrobe is a resource in the community that provides clothing to women and children in need. Unlike a traditional clothing closet where people come and shop the collection, we actually work directly with individuals and nonprofits to get the needs that they have. We curate outfits and then we take the outfits directly to those women or children. So it's more of a boutique experience. If you think about shopping in kind of a discount store, I think like a TJ Maxx or maybe in this case a Goodwill, I sometimes get overwhelmed. I am not fashion oriented. That is Marilyn's forte. And so for someone who is in need of clothing to not get overwhelmed by the process of what do I spend my limited resources on, or how do I create an outfit that might work in different situations, Marilyn does all of that for those ladies. So they're not just getting clothing, they're getting clothing that are put together for exactly what their needs are at this point in their lives.
Like a capsule.
Absolutely.
I cannot do TJ Maxx. It freaks me out.
It is overwhelming.
It's just, I'm like, nope, I'll just go back home and wear it.
And Goodwill is a lot like that. Thank goodness they
Yes.
provide resources to the community. But if you have so much on your plate, how am I going to pay my bills, or what am I going to do with this legal battle or custody or my children or a health problem? It's hard to find the fun in shopping.
Yeah.
But if someone has already pulled your sizes and someone is saying to you, oh, you're on the job market, let's get you a blazer. And you know what? These pants will go great with that, but could also be worn without that. It just takes one worry or one concern off your plate. It makes that part hopefully fun so that you can then have the confidence to do what you need to do.
So it's like a mobile closet. I mean, you're creating the capsules.
Yeah.
You got that part.
Catered to each individual person and their life.
The women are leaving with shoes, handbags, scarves, the actual outfits themselves, without the concern of that was $20 or that was $100 or that was hours of my time. Really, Marilyn puts the hours of her time in so that these women can just walk away with that outfit and that confidence.
And we usually work with about 6 women at each nonprofit.
Yep.
We work with several nonprofits within the High Point community. How many? Probably we've at least worked with
about a dozen.
Yeah, I was going to say
far.
12, 15.
We've started to now have repeats. So we went back to Family Service for the second time, YW for the second time.
D-Up is scheduled for the
second
summer.
time. Yeah. They've had such a great experience. They'd like to do it again, which is a huge vote of confidence to us because, when someone says yes to a service for the first time, we're grateful. But when someone says, our women thrived, our women showed confidence, our women exceeded in their lives because of what you guys were able to provide to them, will you please come back and work with another cohort of women? That means so much to us.
We've had positive feedback
We
from the
did it.
executive directors of most of the organizations we've worked with. And
That's like referrals with us. Like that's the
Absolutely.
biggest compliment you can get is someone coming back and using your services again or referring you. Now, how do these nonprofits or these places, wherever it may be, they get in touch with you, or do you go out and try and find people? How does that process work?
Great question. In the very beginning, because we were such a new resource and we started so very small, we were reaching out to them.
Right.
And we went to the YW for the very first one as sort of an homage to their career closet.
Yeah, because I was going to say they used to have one that the Junior League did. And we were just talking to all 4 of us are members of the Junior League. And this is what you get when you get 4 strong women together.
I'm a former member. I'm no longer a member of but we all were.
Yes.
We started in the Junior League.
Yes.
We all had leadership roles. And
Sadie was the president.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Mary Powell.
Yeah.
We've got two
past
presidents
presidents
here.
Woohoo! We survived.
Doing great things for the community.
That's
really,
right.
had it not been for the Junior League, we would not have met. We ended up on the board together, and I think our friendship grew from there. This shared belief that we could continue to empower women in our community.
Yeah.
And this has been a dream come true that we've been able to continue to do something that's true to the legacy of the Junior League, but also there was a void in High Point, and we got to kind of step in using the skills and talents that we both had to continue to do something special.
Well, because the Y, and we'll go back to what we were talking about before, but the
career
closet at the Y was started by the Junior League.
It sure was.
But then it ceased to exist Was it
Near COVID, right? Yeah, right before COVID.
Right
So
before.
that was one of our really important questions before we got started. Was I went and sat down with them and said, if this was closed because of COVID, will it come back? Because a lot of things were sheltered during that time.
Yeah.
It actually closed in 2018. It had to do with reallocating the space and moving forward in different mission points. And so there was no anticipation that specific kind of dress for success career closet was coming back to our community.
Right.
And that gave us sort of the in we needed to be able to kind of make the mobile pop-up version of that.
Well, you did, and you filled that void. But so now are you scheduling people out?
We are, and that's really exciting for us. So right now, I can tell you all the way through the end of the summer who we're going to be working with. And then it'll perhaps some of the ones that we work with, like we work with C3 every December. I haven't spoken to them about December yet, but my guess is they'll probably. So I don't want to book so far out that we aren't open to new clients, because we want to make sure that if there are new needs or new partnerships, we're able to forge those. And when that happens, instead of doing a traditional pop-up event like we do, oftentimes we'll put together blessing bags. So the pop-up event is so signature to who we are, and we continue to do that every month, but it's not the only way we get clothes in the community, particularly since so many clothes have come in now compared to where we were a year ago. We also do a lot of clothing blessing bags. We're working with the Title I schools. So we have lots of ways to get clothing to people, even if they're not our signature partner for that month.
We sort of listen to the needs of the community. We've done somebody wanted to do a prom project, and Mantle Realty wanted us involved, and they give out about 500 dresses yearly, and so we donated to them. Was it 150?
Yeah, it was.
So we that they used for their show. No, this was their event, and we just were donating. But
and we supported Give a Kid a Coat.
Give a Kid a Coat with the Salvation
project.
Army.
I do too.
We helped with the hurricane relief efforts.
We did for Helene.
Oh,
We
that's
did. A lot of
awesome.
clothes went there.
So
Okay, so tell me about the blessing bag. Like, what is in that?
So the blessing bag is very similar to what we do with the pop-up event.
Okay.
We give the ladies a form to fill out where they can tell us, to the extent that they're comfortable sharing with us, height, weight, sizes, color preferences, pattern preferences. You know, some people are very specific. I do not wear animal print, or I only wear black, or I love red. That's my favorite color. And so to the extent that they share that with us, we can then select clothing. They're going to be the kinds of clothes they want.
So it's still tailored.
It's
not
still
like
tailored.
bag
It is.
of, like,
and we'll give them a week's worth.
A week's worth, absolutely. So we
Wow.
put together, usually we try to have at least 3 items of clothing in what we call an outfit. So a pair of pants, a shell, and a blazer.
Right.
A dress with a cardigan and a scarf. We try to make sure that while we're saying it's 7 outfits, it's oftentimes somewhere close to 30 pieces of clothing by the time we include, you know, shoes and oftentimes a coat. We've got a wonderful partnership with Cover the City Project. Amanda Anderson gave us some Bombas socks from her grant. And so we tuck socks into each of the bags as well. So it's very similar in terms of the clothing that you're going to receive, whether we're doing an in-person visit or a blessing bag. But the in-person visit, you have more options. We're not selecting the clothes for you. We're selecting a set of clothing that then you pick your favorites from. And of course, Holly is our seamstress.
That
and a
was
board member
key.
and a volunteer. She's tailoring the outfit so she can hem pants, she can put in modesty clasp in a blouse, she can change the sleeve length. She's phenomenal, and she does it right there on site.
That's the amazing. I
That's
mean, it's
huge.
all amazing, but that makes the difference 100 times better. You know, because not everyone's body, as we all know, is the same fit. You need to have things tailored. It's not like too big here or too long there, dragging the ground. That, I think, sets you apart from any other, I think, model that anyone could do. I mean, it's amazing, that aspect of
I
it.
think it's a really special experience.
It is.
A lot of the women that we're working with have been through bad experiences, whether that's domestic violence or trafficking or bad family situations that are coming out of. The idea that people are listening to their preferences, and not only that, but then once they select the clothing that we've tailored for them, for Holly to fit it to them so that they feel their best, their most confident. And oftentimes Holly's so eager that if someone walks in with a pair of pants that are too long, she's like, I know those were already yours. Well, look, while you're changing, let me just go ahead and fix those up for you. Oh, I see that you're missing a button. You know what? While you're changing, let me go ahead and just fix that for you.
Yeah, that's awesome. And there's nothing like one-on-one, like all of us. I know, I love it when you're doing something for yourself and one-on-one with someone who's paying attention to everyone. Likes
Absolutely.
attention.
It makes you feel special.
It does.
And I hope that makes them feel confident.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they definitely go hand in hand. And I know y'all probably read studies on women, especially, maybe men too, but when they feel their best, their confidence just soars.
And that opens so many doors.
Yes, it does.
I think when people have reflected back on us that we're not good or we're not worthy or we can't do something, it kind of beats us down a little bit. Even if the voice inside your head says, but I am coming up against that wall. So having this interaction where people want to listen to you, where they're saying you are special and you are worthy and we want to help you shine that light that's uniquely you. I hope it helps make that next day better, that next job interview better, that next whatever they have on their plate. They're hopefully a better version of themselves because the clothing and the experience are making them feel like that version of themselves.
Absolutely. And again, people might just think, well, clothes, that's no big deal. But it is,
It
again, the
is.
studies, it makes a total difference and can change someone's trajectory in life. I mean, it really can.
It's so relatable because I think about the four of us or the people that we may interact with kind of in our peer groups. I don't love running into people in the grocery store when I'm wearing kind of, not my best thing. Absolutely, when my hair is kind of crazy. And of course, that's when you run into people and you're like, oh, hi, sorry. We can relate to that, but yet think of all the things you've got going on that, today might have been a bad day, but your amazing business or your amazing family or all. They may not have that clout that naturally comes with them because they haven't had what we have in terms of building up the reputation or kind of just those connections. So someone judging them is going to feel the same way we feel, but even heavier, even worse. So we're really glad to be able to do that for the women that we work with.
Now, we were talking about the women, but you also mentioned going to kids.
Yes.
So you've opened it up to children's clothing for donation. And let me go back to, you take donations.
Yes.
So let's start there. We'll go back to the kids. You take donations. So if anyone has any clothing, now, are there any stipulations like lightly worn, or tell us about the donation part of it?
We take pretty much anything except for swimsuits.
But
no, we prefer professional wear, but we also take casual clothing because in today's world, we do a casual Friday look. We try to do a different look.
Nice.
So when we do their outfits and they're getting 7, we'll start with a professional look, but then we might move to a dress, and then we might say jeans and a sweater, just so that they have a variety of options. So jeans, we love jeans, and anything casual too. Because for the blessing bags, we might throw, a casual look into one of those.
Exactly. So as you guys can imagine, when you say that you're collecting clothing, sometimes people bring you exactly what you ask for, but sometimes we get everything. I think some of the most interesting items we've received are some lamps and some rugs.
Oh, okay.
We do not do houseware, but I think when people are making donations, they just make donations.
Are you serious?
All of this is very true. So when we started out with the guideline of we're looking for women's professional attire, we naturally got women's casual clothing as well.
Right.
So that was sort of where the blessing bags came from. You know what? They're homeless shelters. There are women that aren't part of the signature partner for this month, but they need clothing too. This is a perfect pick your kids up from school outfit. This is a perfect going to the grocery store, running errands kind of outfit. Then that kind of led itself to, we were getting children's clothing anyway.
Yeah.
And so we took the children's clothing directly to the Communities and Schools Resource Room because Leadership High Point had created that last year about the time that we were getting started. And finally, we sort of decided that we were going to really expand our initiative. So in honor of our 1-year anniversary in September of 25, we started doing youth attire as well. We're not doing pop-up events in the same way that we're doing with women, but we're filling Title I school clothing closets.
Right.
Elementary schools, middle schools, high schools. So for, 8 months now? Every month we have gone to a partner school and we have organized and filled their clothing closet. And because oftentimes, even with elementary schools, we're looking at girls and boys who could potentially wear adult sizes. So if you think of a fifth grader, they might very well be wearing an adult small, medium, or large. We then sort of expanded to collecting some menswear. We don't really have an avenue for getting like men's suits out. So when we get those types of clothes, if someone specifically asks for them, we make sure they get them. But otherwise, we are really good partners with the First United Methodist Church's Good Shepherd clothing shop. They also give out clothes free to the community every week. And so when we get things we can't use, we take it there.
I was going to say, so that stuff where you're like, well, it maybe doesn't meet our criteria,
but there's
have
still
a place
great
to take
clothing.
it.
We always we always make sure we get it back into the community free of charge.
That's what I was going to say.
somewhere.
Every single piece of clothing that's been donated to us has been given free of charge back to the community. Most of it by way of the pop-up shop, clothing blessing bags, the Title I schools. But when we are not able to place those things in those capacities, we give it to West End Ministries. They do a lot with their Leslie's House, and there's Winter Temporary Shelter, the Good Shepherd Clothing Shop. We try to make sure that people know their clothes are staying in this community and being impactful.
Yeah, they're not going in the trash. You're finding someone to use it.
Absolutely nothing.
And you have the website.
We do. www.working-wardrobe.com. That dash is important. Otherwise, you go to a clothing sales site in California.
That's not going to be very
not
helpful.
us. We're the High Point nonprofit that donates clothes. That's us.
Well, I think it makes such a difference for women in High Point who have that need. Now, are there, say someone's listening to this and they're like, hey, I need that. Is there a nonprofit they should go to? I mean, one of your maybe standards that y'all work with a lot?
This is a
Well, the
great
why.
question. If someone is affiliated with one of the nonprofits in town, then we've likely worked with that nonprofit. So if they mention to them, oh, hey, are you doing anything with Working Wardrobe? Or could you connect us with Working Wardrobe? That would be great. But oftentimes, because the number on the website is my cell phone, people just call me and we get their information and put the bag together and we deliver them to, I've delivered them to their jobs, to the library. We meet somewhere.
Okay.
And I just get them the clothing.
That's very nice. Y'all go the extra step.
Yeah, that's really
For
what
sure.
sets us apart, I think. It's the tailoring of the clothes, the
curated outfit. The fact that you take the time to look at their sizes, look at what they like, and put that together. And I think that's phenomenal. And Marilyn, you are the brains behind putting all that together, right?
Yes, yeah. I have a background in fashion. I went to NC State and was a business major, marketing, and had a couple jobs after I graduated and realized I wanted to be in the fashion industry.
Okay.
So I went back to school at Meredith to get a fashion merchandising degree, and I worked at the same time. And I worked at a clothing boutique in Raleigh.
Oh, okay.
And so I have a fashion background. Always wanted to be a buyer, so it was something that I was really passionate about. And moved to High Point.
good taste.
I know. And then you had the brains behind it too.
Got the training.
Well, we moved to High Point. I guess it was 2012, roughly. And I always wanted to open a clothing store or do something fashion related.
Yeah.
And I had kids, and I had another child.
Yeah.
And, I was like, I'm going to do it when my youngest is 3, and then I was going to do it when my youngest is 5. But I knew I was always going to do something in fashion. And then I'd mentioned it to Sadie one time when we were just hanging out, and several months later, she came to me and with an idea for a Working Wardrobe, and we bounced the idea back and forth, and eventually decided that it was something we were going to do. I really wanted to do something positive in the community to help women and children.
Yeah.
And with my background in fashion, I thought I could combine the two to help people. Women and children.
That's awesome. And
Give
what a
back.
great way to do it. And see, from a little conversation on the front porch turns into where we are today.
Honestly, we were neighbors then. So
Yeah.
that's probably how these
Right.
conversations happen.
Now, when did y'all, has it been 2 years?
So Working Wardrobe got started in September of 24.
Okay.
So we're working close to our 2-year anniversary.
Okay.
But as you guys can imagine, in order to start a nonprofit, it started years before it actually started.
Yeah.
Turns out you need a good lawyer and a lot of time to create a 501c3. That is not as easy as just deciding just to start something.
Just fill out the form.
Right. So we probably, if this may be more time than it was, but I feel like we started talking about it in 22 or maybe 23. It really
Been a good year.
we reached out to someone early in 24. Like those were the conversations with Heidi Majors about, is the career closet coming back? Those were the conversations with the
Right.
lawyers about how to even start a nonprofit.
Yes.
And then that took the better part of 24, and then we just hit the ground running.
Nice. And then y'all
Running
are
fast.
We did. I was like, the people of High Point got so behind this so fast, and we're so grateful for that. We had this vision that we would be small for a number of years, and by year 5, we were going to really be doing something.
Yeah.
We hit almost all of those goals in just over a year, and so we were like, we're
You're like a mountain of clothes. Everyone's like, ooh, I now have somewhere to take
This
this.
is true. So the very beginning, we didn't have a physical location, and we figured we didn't need one. We just needed to get enough clothes to do one event per month. And we figured, how like a couple hundred items of clothes, like we have clothes, our friends have clothes, like we're going to do this.
Yeah.
I'd say by January, we did a ribbon cutting here with our office in Congdon Yards. So that kind of created a little bit of buzz. Our friends and family were really excited that we were doing this. That created more buzz. So we had everything in the mod box storage unit, like 2 racks of clothes there, which the place where people keep like leftover sofas and stuff.
Yeah,
like this is by no means a clothing facility.
Yes.
And then quickly that grew to 2 boxes and then 3 boxes and then 4 boxes. And then our board was like, this doesn't seem super sustainable that you have to go into the mod box. We couldn't really have volunteers helping us out in there because the keys and the codes and the whole thing. And then we were so fortunate to get the location that we're at now, which is 620 West English, right here near Congdon Yards. And then that's when really the bottom fell out in terms of donations. And we are so grateful because you're right. Between moving from the mod box to moving to the building, my whole dining room and living room were just a mountain of clothes. I mean, Amanda Anderson came over to bring us some of those socks we were talking about, and she smiled and she goes, "This reminds me so much of Cover the City in year 1."
All the
and I go,
blankets.
"What do you mean?" And she was like, "Oh, eventually you'll get your house back." Okay. We didn't quite know what we were going to do. And I will say when we finally moved into the building, just the growth that had happened between really February, March when we had our lunch, and then when we got in the building, which was end of April, early May, we were able to fill 2 full rooms, maybe 3 or 4 feet deep of just the clothes that we still needed to sort and process and hang, because there was a little bit of a pause while we were transitioning things over.
Right.
We got to drive a big Penske box truck. We moved everything over. It was quite an ordeal. But yeah, the people of High Point have been so supportive, and we could not be more grateful because as you guys provide clothing to us, we create new services to provide clothing to the community. And in our wildest dreams, I don't think we thought we'd already be doing trainings, schools, blessing bags. We really thought we'll do this once a month pop-up thing for a few years before and already we're talking about kind of doing new clothing initiatives. So we'll keep you posted.
You have definitely found that there is a need just by doing this. So you are fulfilling a need, and then even more as you get into it, like, ooh, we're missing this aspect too, and this and this. So it's awesome that you are able and want to expand, not just like we're just going to stay here and do this. Like, oh, we're going to help.
I don't think we could even, not that we want to. I think we're both so excited about the growth we want to continue, but I don't think we could stay still if we wanted to. The clothes are coming in so fast.
I got bags ahead.
Here we go. We're ready for it.
They're going to come in. Which, if you want to drop something off, where do you go drop it off? What's the process for that?
Right now, the best thing to do would be every single Friday, and we've been doing this since we moved into the building a year ago. Every Friday from 9 to 1, we're there. We make sure that at least one of us, but usually about 5 or 6 of us are there so that we can unload your car, we can get the clothing in, we can get your donation receipt to you. We want to make it really smooth. I think one of the reasons why Goodwill is so successful is you just pull your car up and people just do the work.
That's right.
So essentially, if you can come on a Friday between 9 and 1, you just pull your car up and we jump out and we do all the work to make it real easy. Those hours, I realize, are restricted, and so sometimes people aren't able to get on a work day to us. As we get more volunteers who are able to kind of commit to more schedules, we'll have more availability. But Fridays from 9 to 1 are always available. No need to call ahead. No need to make an appointment. We're always eager to have you come be with us.
And address.
Oh,
you've said it before, but specifically for drop off.
Yes, 620 West English Road. So if you're on English, it's a one-way street. You go past Congdon Yards, you go past the intersection of English and Lindsay, and you see that beautiful new building that's going up.
Yes.
We're the very first parking lot on the right.
Okay.
Currently, the building is labeled Brookhaven Baptist Church, in addition to our signage which says Working Wardrobe.
Okay.
As we grow, we actually will be moving into the other part of the building as well. So our signage will become even more prominent.
That's
very,
right
very
around
soon.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah. It's going so
here. It's tomorrow. Y'all have those great IKEA bags.
Yes,
right.
So
That was Sadie's idea.
I love those bags. They're nearly indestructible.
It's
other than cutting them with scissors. I've told this story at the luncheon, but at the time that we first committed to the blue bags, my daughter was about 75 pounds. I could put her in the bag and carry her around. I mean, they are just durable and they're big and they'll hold a lot.
Yes.
So absolutely, if you see a blue IKEA bag around town, it's probably one that we've passed out. Fill of clothes, bring it to us. We'll get it switched out so you got a new IKEA bag to fill. We want to make it as easy as possible.
Great. You just keep it in your closet.
Yes.
And that's what I do. I have it actually in the guest room closet, and every time I have something, I just put it in there, and then when it gets full enough, I'm like, okay, girls, here I come.
That sounds
done.
nothing
durable.
fancy, but it's very practical and durable.
Yeah. And volunteer wise, any seamstress who might want to help out and
Yes.
volunteer, anyone to sort through clothes
Absolutely.
or go with you, you are open arms to anyone, right?
That's right. We have a link on the website that you can sign up to get more information, or you can just email one of us. We send out a newsletter, but it's usually just, here's what we've done. I have kind of a private email of people who really have encouraged or said they were interested in volunteering. And there's just a sign up genius link there. And I'm constantly updating it because each month, as we mentioned, there's a women's event, there's a school event, often there's trainings right now. And so if anyone's willing to help us out with any of those things, we welcome and encourage their participation.
Oh, perfect. Well, that's a nice little area to volunteer, especially if you love fashion.
Okay, so we have some exciting news.
We have been named the beneficiary recipient of High Point Fashion Night Out. As you guys know, in years past, when Stephanie James had created this, they partnered with Family Service. And so we are honored that she has decided to partner with us this year.
The beneficiary.
We are the beneficiary.
Fundraiser. It's in High Point Fashion Night Out. It's a fundraiser.
Yes.
We are so thankful for this opportunity, and we are the main beneficiary. However, we are going to give a portion of the donations to Family Service in honor of the history of the event, specifically for their child wellness that addresses mental health.
Oh,
children.
nice. Very nice.
We love the idea of staying true to her vision, staying true to what the history has been. So we're honored to receive some of the benefit from this, but also to share it as well.
To give back to the community.
For those who missed out on Mary Powell and I.
Yes, we were in C's last year.
There. It was wonderful.
But it's a fashion show where models from High Point and local retailers have their clothes.
When I heard monkeys, and then
Sadie, say it.
When
Tell
he was-
everybody.
Yep, so they're bringing the OGs back.
Yes.
They're really excited about that.
Yes.
So we've got Monkeys and Winnie's, Austin Elliott's new line.
Yeah, Ella Suzu. I know we tried that. Actually, they were going to do it last year, and they just didn't have their line
fast.
together. Yeah, it was
Gary
so
Simon.
fast. So.
Yeah, and he's going to do the jewelry for everyone. Really, it's great to have kind of the gang back together and to allow us to be a part of it this year. We've been sponsors of it for the past couple of years as Working Wardrobe because we just believe so much in what it does for the community.
Yeah.
So to be able to partner and be a part of this year is really wonderful.
Oh, nice.
And so, like you were saying, Monkeys will have a line of women between 10 or 15 that, show off kind of the newest styles for Monkeys. We're hoping the children will have 10 or 15 to do kind of that line as well. And then somewhere in the show, probably after intermission, we think, we're actually going to have models who walk down the runway wearing outfits curated by Marilyn from the donated clothes that we have. And our clothes are amazing. And I think, when you think of clothing closets,
I'm getting some good stuff.
Exactly.
I know that.
You're thinking that maybe not that caliber, but we're so honored that the caliber of clothing we've received is actually the kind we could probably send down the runway.
We get clothes with tags.
Brand new. Oh,
Katie Erickson has been so generous with Monkeys. She's given us some things, brand new with tags that from seasons of that maybe didn't sell.
That's awesome.
So we'll put together outfits and they'll go down the runway, and so hopefully people will see their donations and or how their donations are impacting women and put together in these outfits that build confidence and open doors.
I love that. I think that's very cool.
That is really cool.
And it is amazing what you can do. And this is what I've learned that you were born with the brain to do, is that the things you can put together, I mean, just by using accessories and everything, you can make a pair of jeans and a white shirt look like, oh, wow, adding accessories. It's all about accessories, right? Isn't it?
Yes, a lot of accessories. Yeah.
When is it going to be? We have a date and a location.
Oh,
and all
yeah.
that stuff.
Details.
Friday, August the 28th, and it's going to be at the home of Doug Witcher. We are honored he's opened up his home to us. And so we hope to kind of an homage back to when all of the yellow bandana, the tag, were at people's houses.
Yes.
Sort of miss that feel, that hometown vibe.
I think people miss that.
So we're honored that he said yes, and we're going to do that at his house.
Oh, that's awesome. That'd be a cool little twist to it. Because, I mean, it's Stephanie James's place. It was almost like a home. I mean,
was
an old
yes.
house where her shop is. So it was almost like being at someone's home. So that's very cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
big
I'm
thank you to
excited.
Doug Witcher.
August 28th. I've got to put that in.
I know it'll be here.
Save the date.
Yep, we're just under 4 months.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And we're kicking off a marketing campaign. Start that Philip that works with Stephanie's to help roll that out. So
Oh, nice. Oh, I'm so excited. So, as for your footprint for your nonprofit, is it just High Point right now, or what are your thoughts? I mean, y'all are growing like crazy. So, what are your ideas for now and the future?
So we're really honored to receive the clothes in High Point and try to give those back in this High Point community. I think because we had this kind of small idea in the very beginning, it's so important to us to kind of give back to where we call home.
Yeah.
But yes, you're absolutely right. The clothes are coming in much faster and we're growing at a rate that's faster than we'd anticipated. I think it would mean a lot to us to be able to hit the greater High Point community. So making more partnerships with Thomasville, Archdale, Trinity, these areas that surround us, Jamestown, absolutely. That for me is a big initiative as we move forward throughout this year and the next calendar year. At this time, I don't think we have a plan to expand to Greensboro or Winston because those bigger markets have similar resources. But really being able to touch the communities that don't have those resources, I think was kind of important to us.
I think that's awesome. And which I've said many times, I think the whole thing's really cool. But I think this is a great we've interviewed quite a few nonprofits in High Point that help make our community more cohesive and trying to just kind of fill any voids and help everyone out there live a better life, no matter how that is through clothing or childcare or aging in place or, whatever it may be.
Opening doors, enhancing people's lives. And I think that I say it all the time and it sounds kind of cheesy, but that's why High Point really is a special place to live. And I think that's why we all have stayed here, come back here, or moved here. And
well, when we've got Marilyn is from High Point, born and raised, and Sadie, you moved to High Point. How long ago?
In 2010.
so
Right
she's,
out of
she's
HBU.
claimed as a High Point native now.
I was here long enough.
Years, absolutely. I love it here.
Yeah. That's the whole thing with the High Point thing, whether it's nonprofits or it's Smitty and Pearls coming to town, helping bring those young people back because it gives them a community that has everything. And Marilyn, you could have lived, you could have stayed in Raleigh.
stayed in Raleigh, yes.
But you came back to High Point.
Yes, because I love High Point.
It draws us all back in.
Yeah.
But didn't you say in high school, like, I'm never going to live in High Point?
A little bit. I've always loved High Point. I think partly because I have a lot of family here.
Yes.
My family has a company, Old Dominion Freight Line, that has kept a lot of family members in town.
Yes.
I love High Point because I was born and raised here, like you said. My parents live here. My sister, my nieces, aunts. I've got so many cousins. We have a really, really big family, and I just love it. And I've raised all three of my kids here. It's a great place to raise a family.
It is.
It's a small town, but it's not too small. It's not too small.
It's a small town with big heart.
I'll say one of my top 5 reasons I love High Point is because I can get anywhere I need to go in 5 to 10 minutes. Anywhere.
Well, hell, I'm the same way. I mean, and like, I got to go over to Greensboro.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no traffic. I mean, during Forage Market there is, but there's really no traffic. I just feel really at peace with driving around. It's a great place. I've got a 15-year-old, and he's learning how to drive a car.
Oh,
and I feel really good about
that he's
in the roads, and just that's definitely one of my top 5 is the traffic.
Be anywhere in
anywhere
10
in 5
minutes.
I find myself now, and my dad used to do this when I'm driving around a bit. Someone got in a car accident there, so make sure when you're driving and you go around that turn, you go slow.
Yeah.
The certain intersections, like Westwood and Rotary is one of them. I had two people, 2 accidents there.
I find myself doing that now, and I couldn't do that just anywhere. I'm like, you don't run that stop sign. And there's always a cop hiding behind that tree.
I know.
It really, that's my number one reason too.
And while we're small, we're growing. I've watched over the last decade High Point grow. It's amazing all the economic development we've had with new buildings and new businesses. I mean, look at our Rockers baseball team, our Carolina Corps soccer team. so many new restaurants with new restaurants on the horizon.
Mhm.
I mean, look at our university and everything
We
Nito's
have a
done
nightlife.
with High Point University. Yes. And
Yeah.
they have given back to High Point.
Well, and we've said it before that the Condon family has definitely helped and been a driving force, one of the top driving forces in the past and here in the present and in the future with making sure that High Point is a stable community and it's growing. So, I mean, we couldn't do it with families like that. And that's why we love where we live because it's a special little place, and we have so many people moving to the Triad that we work with. That High Point, I mean, we show them all cities, but they tend to end up choosing High Point for the reasons you said. Lack of traffic anywhere in 5 minutes, right? You've got everything right here. The cost of living is a little bit more affordable than the bigger cities of Greensboro, Winston. So we have a lot of aspects that people really want. Y'all are helping create the circle.
Yes.
And create a better community for all of us. So I really thank y'all
Thank
for
you.
being here and sharing everything.
Thank you so much. I feel like I knew a lot about you guys, but I have learned
yes,
so much.
yeah, same here. And if you want to donate your time or your clothes, go.
Save's personal phone number is
You can call herself.
Seemed like a good idea when we were in the mod box.
Maybe getting another number.
I do
As
think
realtors, our numbers are everywhere,
Yes.
so it's only funny to me because I know that fresh hell that you're in right now.
Yes, exactly.
No.
Phone calls all the time.
Yes.
24/7. But anyway, thank you all again for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, guys.